Trigger warning. The following material contains ableist language, which may be triggering or upsetting to viewers. Discretion is advised.
Dumb.
Retarded. Depressed.
Lame.
Loony.
Hysterical.
Psycho.
Handicapped.
Barren.
Idiot.
Deaf.
OCD.
Lunatic.
Special.
Psychopath.
Dimwit.
Spaz.
Blind.
Insane.
Diseased. Insane.
Mental case.
Maniac.
Psychotic.
Gimp.
Special needs.
Dirt.
Crazy.
Indo liquor.
Schizophrenic.
Imbecile.
Idiot.
Hysterical.
Retarded.
Insane.
Stupid.
Mental
Handicapped.
case.
Psycho.
OCD.
Wacko. Lunatic.
Okay, what do you think ableism is?
I'm not really sure what ableism is. I could take a guess.
I know ableism is a thing. I know sometimes, obviously, I know it can hurt people a lot. It can be very hurtful, sometimes unintentionally so. Sometimes people do it intentionally.
Well, from what I understand, it's a form of discrimination against folks with some sort of disability, especially using specific language to hurt their feelings, make them feel bad, assault them, that kind of thing. Does that sound about right?
Ableism is the discrimination or social prejudice against humans who have developmental, emotional, mental, or physical disabilities.
When you hear the word ableism, what words come to mind?
I guess, I don't know if the word retarded is still used much, although I do hear it occasionally, and it makes me cringe.
Special, handicapped, insane, crazy.
Well, for me, something that's become really common on the internet, especially on Tumblr, because I use that a lot, is the I'm gonna commit, or KMS, which stands for kill myself, when people get upset about things. Because I don't think they've actually ever, in most cases, tried to commit suicide or thought seriously about committing suicide. And, that is an emotional and mental disorder.
Do you use ableist words?
I think to some extent everyone does, because it's something that you don't go out of your way to think about, and certain words are normalized. Like if you use the word crazy, that's an ableistic word, but you don't really think about it that way. There are certain words that I'm very aware of though. My little brother had a learning disability, and so we don't use the R word in my household.
I think I do. I don't say the R word, the bad R word. Sometimes I say stuff is lame. I probably should not do that. Crazy. Dumb. Yes, those are bad ones because they're, I don't know, it dehumanizes people who actually are mute or mentally ill.
Has ableism affected you personally or anyone that you know?
I know my little sister has a friend who's got a brother who's got Down syndrome, and she's in high school, she's a freshman, and she gets really upset when people make fun of Down syndrome people, even just joking, when they talk like that, she gets really upset.
I definitely, not, usually people don't say anything to me because I feel like I'm not outwardly kind of disabled. You can't really, I guess, tell or whatever. But so a lot of it doesn't really trigger me, but I know that blind, a lot of people say, just like casually kind of say it, because there's someone who's really close to me who actually is blind, and so it bothers me when people kind of just make light of that.
Before it's made me feel really guilty for being mentally ill. And, yeah, it's made me really hurt before.
So from an early age, there's a really big divide between kids that have a special disability, special need, and kids that are normal to society. My little brother actually has a twin brother. So one of my little brothers didn't have any kind of special disability, special need, anything like that. And when he was in preschool, he was put in this brand new classroom with 2 teachers, and all of the toys were new, all of the crayons were new, all of the art supplies was new. You know, they had the top of the line everything. Right across the hallway was the room for kids with special needs, and my little brother, who has sensory processing disorder and a speech impediment, was put in that room. They only had one teacher. They had the hand-me-downs from the next classroom. They didn't receive any of the funding that the first classroom had. Basically, it was just the hand-me-downs and leftovers, and it was completely different treatment, even though they were right across the hall from each other, even though they were twins.
I was born with spinal bifida, with a tethered cord and hip dysplasia, also known as caudal regression syndrome. I remember as a little girl watching kids go up and down this ladder that was connected to the playground during recess. I remember one day I went to go attempt to climb the ladder until one of the volunteer parents grabbed me off and told me that it wasn't meant for handicapped kids.
So what do you think about words like crazy, lame, stupid, barren?
You know, those are, with the exception of barren, I don't hear that one very often. Other than, you know, occasionally referring to a woman who is unable to have children. But the other 3 that you mentioned, I probably use those in everyday speech relatively often.
I personally don't feel, I feel like it's not my place to necessarily say that, because I'm not really affected strong enough. So I don't know. I think no one should use them if they're with someone who asked them not to use them, obviously. And I don't like saying them. But, yeah.
Do you think you would ever consider removing ableist words from your vernacular?
For sure. I don't consciously know of like times that I say them, but I do kind of say, oh, that's dumb, and but I don't think about it. So I mean, now doing this interview and stuff, I'm gonna think about it more and try to find less offensive, potentially offensive words to use.
Yeah, I suppose I could say less crazy and insane and things like that, because I guess it probably does affect some people more than it does me. And I think that if I would definitely stop using it more if people actually labeled me like that a lot more. And I know that some people get that more than I do.
I fully expect that once you're done, it'll really have an impact on me.